Welcome, everyone, to the Conversations at the Peace Table. My name is Soraya Dean. I want to begin with these universal blessings. May all sentient beings be happy. May they be safe. May they be free from suffering. I'm Soraya Dean, and I just have to be very honest and confess I started this podcast mainly for myself, to keep me in check, to remind myself of who I am and where I come from. I'm a South Asian American Muslim. I come from Sri Lanka, the land of the Buddhas and the Gandhis from the region. And we come from a legacy rooted in nonviolence, compassion, and courage. And yet, like so many of us, I navigate a world filled with noise, division, and deeply held pain. So this space is my commitment to pause, to reflect, and to engage differently. Because I believe this deeply, that we don't move forward by talking louder, we move forward by listening better. So at the table, we will explore conversations not only as a way to navigate conflict, but as a doorway into something larger, what it means to be human together, what it means to learn something new. So our goal is not to resolve disagreement, but rather to model a different kind of conversation, one that is honest about pain and complexity, and candid about differences, and grounded in shared values. At the Peace Table, we don't compare pain, we examine choices. And today, in order to do that, I have a very important guest who has an incredible knowledge of history and affairs. She is Muniza Ansari, also from my part of the world, originally from Pakistan. She's a historical researcher and independent journalist focused on studying civilizations, cultures, ideology, and the rise and fall of nations throughout time. Her work explores forgotten history, historical transformations, and how post-events continue to shape the modern world. She has published articles discussing history, society, freedom, conflict, and cultural changes across generations. Welcome, Muniza. I'm so glad you are able to join us today.
Hi.
How is your day? I know you are calling in from Texas. Can you just tell us how's your day and
Day is really good. Weather's up and down. I know there's a big march coming up in New York, so I'm trying to keep track of all of that from Texas for MWIC and stuff. Other than that, stuff is pretty good. About to publish my next article regarding U.S. history. I think at a time like this, it is so important to publish U.S. history from 1776 of American independence and who played a role to participate with the Americans and who tried to, destroyed the American way of life throughout time. So things been pretty good. I've been thinking on my next article.
Wow. Who tried to destroy the American way of life? Is there a group or is there a plan?
Well, after 1776, many empire who's old the American culture, older than the American culture, actually had their own views about America. It's kind of like right now, America's follow the leader. America's number one in everything, right? But there were empire rulers and countries, then again, country nationalism. If you look at the pattern today, all these nationalist groups support places like Russia, China, Spain, but they're against America. So you think for a minute, where does all this come from? And then you look at the narratives. What does the narrative say? And what does the pattern say? So it's a lot to put together and match the puzzle.
Wow. So that is why, Muniza, what you have to say is so critical and important because uh, I know you talk a lot about why it's important to study history and timelines so that we can understand modern conflicts, ideologies, and world narratives today. So can you tell to our listeners why we must study history? Because we live in an AI age, information age, where we get our news from clicking on the internet. We don't commit to history, but the algorithms drive the news. So why is it important to study history?
If you look at now, just look at the YouTube numbers and Google information. So much is being updated to currently today. And if you get updated to currently today, you will definitely not understand what happened yesterday. It's important because there's a pattern here, and not many people understand the pattern. The narrative is a pattern. When, like, for example, when I know a lot of the American Christians are afraid that, yeah, the scriptures say Jews and Christians, but you think for a minute, why is it specifically America and not the Spain, not places like Russia, all these other places? They go back, way back, and it's pretty unpredictable surprises that some of them actually do go back with Muslim countries. Now that's a brain freeze. Like, okay, why are they like that, and why are we like that? You think for a minute, where does the maze come from?
So are you saying we are not going deep enough and other countries are going, or are you saying the opposite?
No, I'm saying we need to research enough because not a lot of people even know all they know is 4th of July. They don't know 1776 is American independence in history when it took birth, 1776. And according to sources, there were men, just like how I made videos before, there were countries who welcomed the American culture, but that also comes in the number timeline. Like who was okay with America, who was not okay with America, who welcomed the American culture into their countries. That's what people need to understand, where does the stuff come from.
Oh, I get you. So that we will be pre-warned and we will be able to understand who is standing with us and who is standing against us. Is that why? Oh, I understand. So, but Muniza, history is boring to be reading,
A lot of people don't want to do that.
Yes,
you see,
yes.
a lot of people, I spoke to my Jewish friend, me and her talk about it a lot. I spoke to my Christian friend, we talk about it a lot. They're both teachers actually for America. They retired. They're in their late 60s. The thing is that, and both of them gave me one same answer as you are. Not a lot of people like to read, but the funny thing is people like to take the easy way out and jump around. So when they just publish anything. So when you ask them this historical question that, look, there was a time period you did this too, people refuse to believe it. When it's there, like for example, I'll give the biggest example of all, right? In today's society, and I learned this from Christians, in today's society, American Christians believe they're the only Christians. But what about all the other Christians who existed before American independence? Where does that history come from? So if it's all Christians, then all Christians count, right? So we can't jump around. We have to take every single portions and put it together.
Okay. But okay, I get that. Now let's talk about 1776 and now, okay? And we are getting to 250th birth anniversary of this beautiful nation that has given us so much space, so much opportunities. And all I know is that I'm deeply grateful to be an American today. And I tell my children their first duty is to this country. And if my children have received enormous support in education and scholarships. And I tell my kids, first thing you are going to do when you earn is do the similar scholarship to another student who deserves it. But Muniza, today we see such a huge push to subvert America, to marginalize, to call, blame, shame. But in 1776, did we see the same kind of animosity towards America?
No, in fact, this is pretty interesting. You're going to feel surprised just as much as I was. So like in 1776, when Americans took independence, The first countries to recognize the United States, the Ottoman Empire allowed the trade, diplomatic American across its territories. Egypt became connected through trade, and Morocco was the first country to recognize the United States in 1777. Morocco. Now, not many people know that it was Morocco.
Wow. Okay, so we had many friends, and today we see they are still friends, but they won't.
But people don't understand where does it come from. So like when you put the narrative in the middle, they think it's because of religion and things like, no, the religion already took place early in the 20s. Its way down. Religion was already there. But people think it's a relationship through religion. It is not.
Then what is it?
It's the time periods. As I just said, the first country to recognize the United States, 1777, was Morocco.
So we do still have good relationships with Morocco, but...
And not many people see that. You see, if you see in today's society, not many people talk about Morocco. I'll give an example. The places like Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, Libya, and these are all the places connected in the time periods of Hitler, when the Holocaust happened. All these countries where the monarchs helped the Jews and the Arab National wanted them to support Hitler to get them exterminated. The same countries recognize the United States, and the same places are linked to the Holocaust. Numbers count.
Amazing. So let's get to this a deeper question, okay? When did extremist ideologies begin replacing older cultures of coexistence and tolerance? According to you, we existed tolerantly. Tolerance is the lowest bar, and that's why we are here today. We need to more than that. But tell us, Muniza, when did these extremist ideologies begin replacing?
Well, you see, I'll give two biggest demonstration of all, and I actually did a stream about this. A lot of Iranians feel that the culture started with the Persian people, but no, that there's more cultures that Iran had before the Persian Empire or the Pahlavis Empire, right? Same for Afghanistan, same for other places too. There were many empires and cultures. And thing that's affecting today, and I would say that people say it's the Ottoman Empire, but it's not the Ottomans, because the first country to as I told you before, was Morocco to recognize the United States. So it's not the Ottomans. The change comes from the 1900s, because when some places started to adopt Western culture and welcomed it into their lands, like they felt proud about it, that they wanted to adopt it too, without having to leave their homes. So that's where the treachery came in, and nationalism came in the early times of like Russia's culture never liked the Americans, and which is Russia, I believe, is best known for USSR, but like Russians never liked the American culture, and then later on the Pahlavis adopted it too, Afghanistan adopted it too. So all these nationalist groups who are invading in Muslim lands and terrorizing it down, their war is against the West, and they don't even care about their people. They want power because they don't want the West to be powerful.
Okay. But can we then forget the Catholic inquisitions, the wars, the crusades? They also have harmed relationships, isn't it?
That comes from, I say this to every Christian who I talk to, that comes from Christian history. If they're ready to review it in the exact order, for example, I don't really like to talk this in front of camera because I don't want to offend someone, but what I do know, according to sources from the early 600s, Catholic and the Orthodoxy Christians are the oldest Christians because they're the ones who led the wars. Okay, they're the ones who led the early wars from Spain to like all these other places that were Byzantines. Those were Christian empires. The Protestants and evangelicals came later in the 1800s through European invasion and when America took independence. So divide between Christianity, it's not really, I can say anything, but the divide comes from what the Catholics view Muslims as and the Orthodox versus the Protestants and then evangelicals.
Okay, so getting on, Now let's talk about the Ottoman Empire. It's very critical for us to know, even to understand the Middle East conflict, right? The Jews lived in that area in Palestine, where Arabs, Jews lived together, and the land was Palestine, common to Jews and Arabs. And the Ottoman Empire welcomed Jewish people. Arabs were doing their thing, and then of course the British came and things started to change. So how did the fall of old empires like the Ottoman Empire change borders, identities, and politics across the Middle East and across the region?
Okay, so Ottomans did have Jews, because that's where, again, a lot of people don't like to put the pieces together, because they were already banned from like Spanish Empire and all these other Christian empires. So next empire would be the Ottoman Empire, which would be the Muslim empire, even though Christian had disagreements with Muslims, but the Jews were part of that. So when the Jewish community arrived to the Ottoman Empire, places like Morocco and Egypt, and like places like even Iraq at early times of Faisal, they've helped build the community. They were allowed to be Jews and practice. Yes, I'm saying it. They did pay tax, but the way that the militant organization did is completely different. The militant nationalists took away their rights. The monarchies did make them pay jizya, but they also participated to let them have their rights for freedom being Jewish, because second-class citizens do not help you build the community, like things like medicine or economy and things like that. Only first-class citizens who have a say get to do that. And they were treated differently with the monarchs compared to the nationalists.
So who were the first class?
The first class would be the Muslim monarchy kings. And they welcomed the Jews, gave them jobs and things like to help with the economy at the time.
And I heard that the Jewish communities are very good with the finance, banking, and the monarchs, the Ottoman.
They helped build medicine, hospitals, and a lot of stuff.
Okay. So what the point we're trying to make here is that the Ottoman Empire, long before 1948, long before the Balfour Declaration, there were Jews living in that area. Is that what you will confirm then?
Yes. Okay. So there were about like 500,000 or more Jews living in Morocco, Tunisia, Albania. I bet Albania still has Jewish community today too, because Albania is linked to the Holocaust, and Algeria, and these places, Egypt, they all had Jews, and Iran also had Jews at one point.
So before 1948 then, Jews, Christians, Muslims, they lived together in parts of the Middle East.
Right. From 1800s,
in harmony.
In harmony. Because they helped build the economy. But around like later in the 1800s, all the way close to 1900s, okay? I'm going to say close to 1900s. 1800 would be the middle. So when America started to build its economy and build its things, and the Muslim countries had Jews too. But the militant nationalists who are supportive places like Spain or Russia or like all these places who are against America, they were never satisfied of the American culture, because they felt they were outnumbered, their views were outnumbered. And for that, so throughout time, there were many genocides of Muslim leaders who died throughout the time. And Qasem Soleimani and then Assad's father also have a play down as you read down the timeline. So when these nationalist organization leaders came into power, they made Jews and Christians pay double the tax, took away their rights, and exiled them from their homes. And they said pretty much you have no freedom to be Jewish or a Christian and practice your rights when the nationalism took over.
Wow. I think a part of the forgotten history is the Jewish exodus in the Middle East, how the Jewish people were.
And that's what Palestinians don't understand. For example, there were the Yemenite Jews, the Iraqi Jews. So when they say stuff, this is where I say a narrative is paper. You're reading a paper and just believing the paper. Where are all the other details at? So when you read a paper that, oh, Jews are just Zionists. You're believing a Zionist? Okay, no problem. Can you tell us what happened to the Iraqi Jews? They don't know. They don't know. They were once upon a time there. Do you know why they were exiled or why they were thrown? They don't know.
Tell us then, why, how many Iraqi Jews? I heard about the Iraq in changing the penal code of their country to say that Zionism is a crime.
Right. Give me 1 second. Sorry, 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me tell my daughter to go on.
And yeah, mommy duties, we juggle so much when we do these programs, traveling. I was with Muniza just this weekend. We were in Florida at over 150 influencers from all over the world gathered, and I got to know deeper the powerful work that Muniza does. So Muniza, this has to be told. Imagine a country like Iran introducing a penal provision. I don't know when exactly, I'm sure you will know as a historian. They changed their penal code to say that to call for a Zionism, a state for the Jewish people, is a crime. And they expelled Jewish people.
That's a myth, just like part of the military caliphate. For example, when I gave you a charter about 1937, the Palestinians had more chances than the Jewish state ever did. Palestinians had chances like 1937, but the leaders rejected it, because this is where I say this is a twisteroo. If they give the Palestinians the state, let's say they do, just like how Hamas is still in part of the caliphate, but the citizens are not getting anything. It's technically the same thing. So if they given the Palestinian state in 1937 or like 1940, whatever, or 1928, all those numbers that I gave you throughout time, then giving them a state means their purpose is over and they're not going to be making profit anymore. These Arab nationalists, their profit comes from war. They get rich off of war. So they use education to manipulate the citizens that you have to fight for us. You have to war for us, and you have to do what we say so. And since they can't use Jews or Christians, it wouldn't make sense for them to use them for their personal caliphate. So they kind of just want them out of the picture. Like, okay, you just go die someplace, and we don't need you here, and you have no rights. But the citizens, I say it today, even today it's the same. They're never going to give a Palestinians a state, because the day they get a state, their profit ship of warring is over. Their profit is from war. That's why they said no. Now Jews come into the map. Okay, the Jewish state comes into the map. The Jewish state is making profit. That's causing them a problem to lead and get rich, because it's in the way.
Got you. Wow, that's fascinating. So most of this is a construct to keep the war machines on and to keep the people divided. Okay.
And all these narratives are man-made narratives. I'll interpret it on camera. When they made narratives, oh, debt to America. That's not even in the Quran. There's no script in there specifically saying debt to America. That's a man-made script for war machines. Right after I told you, 1900 nationalism, these militant groups, they hated American culture when Americans took independence, and why they cursed at America. So, you're a stolen land, you killed the Native Americans, yada, 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 all this stuff. And others were okay with the American culture, like Morocco was. But how are they going to do it? They need to brainwash their people. They need to make their people hate America and everything like that, to use them as their personal robots. I'll give two examples, and they're the best one, I say, in the Muslim world. They say Sharia law, oh my God, it's Sharia law. Oh my God, it's Sharia law. But Sharia law applies to everyone. Why are they rich? They're in suits, and they live in big houses. They drive a Mercedes. Their daughters live in fancy houses. Why don't they live in the country? So is Sharia law only for the citizens, or does it not apply to all Muslims? That's a man-made rule. Second rule, this is also a man-made rule. People don't see it that way, but it is a man-made rule. You say debt to the Christians, but why only debt to American Christians? Why the West Christians? Why not somebody from Spain? Why not somebody from Portugal? Why not somebody from Brazil and all these other Christian countries? Why specifically America? That's something to think about. Why specifically that to the American Christians? Because of all this time period. And they want the Americans to fall so they can have power. Soraya, you're muted.
Yes, sorry. Who is the they?
These Arab nationalist groups. So let's say from 1990s, it is 2026. Imagine how many narratives they launched throughout time to manipulate people.
Right. So going back to the Arab exodus of the Jewish people, I think approximately 900,000 Jews migrated, fled, or were expelled from Muslim majority countries throughout
that's one thing. You know the famous Abraham Alhambra, right? The Syrian Jew who's a famous lawyer too. Before I left the hotel, I asked him personally that if you don't mind telling me your story, can you please give me some information? What was your family's life like as Jewish in Syria? And that gave me a red flag that my study is 100% correct. What I'm looking is accurately right. He told me that Assad's father expelled many Jews and before he gave Assad power. Now, what does that tell you? Assad's father was no great person. He was a militant leader. And then the Qasem Soleimani, when we read about Iraq, Qasem Soleimani and what happened to the Jews in Iraq, Qasem Soleimani killed Prince Faisal, who gave the Jewish and Christians right and welcomed rights of the Jews and Christians in Iraq, the Prince of Iraq. But then he was shot, solid, 3 gunshots, solid on the street. The militant organization shot him and pretty much invaded the land and make nationalism take over the land. So when Jews lived under that, they paid double the jizya. Double, no rights. They were kind of like slaves that just keep paying jizya or we're going to kill you. They had no freedom of rights compared to Prince Faisal, how they kept it. And of course, Assad's father is a militant leader. So that has an influence. So every right was taken away from the Jews and Christians after nationalism took over.
And then look at Iran after the 1979 revolution. More than 500,000 Jews went back to Israel. And so did Egypt. I thought Egypt was an ally, but they also expelled their Jews.
Yes. And okay, Egypt has a little hidden tail throughout time. And Egypt, although it kept the Jews, this is where I say people really need to study about the Muslim Brotherhood politics, not just as a militant organization, but also its politics. So back in the early day when Egypt welcomed the Muslim Brotherhood and Saudi Arabia was like part of the club, but when it came to changing civilization, Saudi Arabia didn't agree to that. Saudi Arabia said, no, that I'm not going to change my civilization for you. There you go, back to base one again, throwing down the monarchies and their way of life versus the narrative that they want in power. So that's how they broke up with Saudi Arabia. Egypt banned them too, but at the same time, until this is currently happening in history of 2026, that even though Jordan has link under the table with Israel, no social media proof for protection, even under the table, the King Abdullah has gotten harassments, death threats that he had to run to UAE for protection. So imagine if you bring it publicity, what's going to happen to you?
Wow. So then some people might say, okay, the Jewish exodus is same as the 1948 Palestinian expulsion. And they'll compare the two. How do you see it, Manisa?
The way I see it, okay, number one, people must understand, even though they're saying the Jews, those are not the Jews from the Bible, or those are not the Jews from the Quran, or those are not the Jews from there, they're suddenly from, Europe. No, they're the same Jews. It's just throughout time, there were many Jews who showed up, like the Sephardis, the Mizrahis, who were part of Muslim countries. Mizrahis was mostly part of Muslim countries. So all these Jews, as they transferred to Israel with time, remember, Jews were also not treated well in Poland. That's a Christian country. There's a history of Jews not being treated well in Poland, but that would come in Christian history. So all these Jews, after empires, through nationalism taking away their rights, they migrated to Israel. They're the same Jews as much as people don't want to believe it. But that's where the twister rule comes in. Okay, ask them what happened to Jews in Poland. What happened to Jews in Iraq? Who were they? They're the same Jews, just people having a difficult time to understand.
Right. You won't compare it to the Nakba, right? Do you? No.
No, I say that the Palestinian Nakba is a man-made myth. Because how are you a Nakba when your own leaders rejected your statehood? That makes no sense. You're a Nakba too, but your own leaders rejected your statehood? How does that make any sense? You had more opportunities than the Jewish state did.
Yes. And when these 6 countries planned to attack Israel, they told the Palestinians, okay, go for a few days, you will come back, we'll defeat the Jewish state. And they were encouraged to leave.
And then they attacked these states. They attacked Egypt. They attacked Iraq. They attacked Jordan, best known for Black September. Right. So even today, the story continues that the countries are not ready to take them in. They're just not. Because they're too brainwashed with time. They fear what they can do to their country.
I know.
So even though it is too late, and I say it, there's no cure for Palestine. It's like Ahmad said, that Ahmad, I forgot his last name, who said, who's a Palestinian activist. He said it, where he said it that once upon a time, Palestinians had malls, it had a civilization, like the Gaza, I should be saying Gaza. When Gaza had a civilization, right? As soon as Hamas took advantage, Hamas never fixed anything. Gaza is just like all the other Muslim countries now, under Hamas rule. So they feel like they're in prison now. The biggest mistake they ever said yes to was Hamas. Now they're going to be just like every other Muslim country, living under military jail.
That's true. So I want to bring it, our time is up. I want to bring it back to the United States. We are history, and we are just going to celebrate our 250-year birth anniversary, and proud 250 years we have served, we have given, we have gone to war, we have done many things. What message do you have for the American Muslims?
My message to the American Muslim is don't believe paper, don't believe narratives, do a little self-research from the 1700s and understand what Muslim countries had links with America and how many times have Palestinians rejected their statehood and who did it. They had more offers than the Jewish state ever has. You understand that. You will understand who is telling the truth and who is not, and what is your rightful duty. Support the Americans than a paper narrative that's been frauded for many years.
Right. Do you think American Muslims have a place in America today? Because if you look around, we have not shown our best self. I feel the American leaders, like the Council on American Islamic Relations, the Islamic societies, it seems like they are here to fight for Palestine, not for America. Is that
right?
Too much?
Okay, I say this with pride as an American Muslim. If you were to publish me somewhere, publicity. One of the mistakes I feel America has made as a Muslim is that giving Palestinian leaders power, like Nahid Awad or Rashida Tlaib, just because they are Americans, and you know the Palestinian history throughout time, I would have made reconsideration. Then Obama, he gave it to Obama. You should give it to the American Muslim who works with the American laws of life, not outside. The American laws of life, the American policies, anything related to America. If you are using the American power for your personal narrative, then that's a big mistake the Americans have given.
Wow, Muniza, that is so true. We have in fact emboldened these people to come with a different agenda and not stand up for this country. And how tragic is that, you know?
Look at Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Nahid Awad, giving him so much power. He's so powerful today that even politicians can't even take him down.
Wow. Serious wake-up call. And tell me about AMVAC. I know you sit on the board. It is it is the I continue to partner with them. Is that the premier organization now that's the only voice for ordinary moderate
Yes, but
Muslims?
my advice is that Christians and Jews lift up MWIC because leaders like you or Imam Musa or Anila Ali, you work with the American civilization. If you were to come in, let's say, Congress tomorrow, you're going to have many haters who disagree with you because you are giving the American people the power and you're giving American civilization a power versus their personal narratives. And I said it that you can easily earn Christian and Jewish votes because you worked with the Israelis and you work with the American Congress and you give them every report. But it's not going to be that simple versus those who support the other side who want America to fail and make Palestinians win. You can get the power and you'll probably be a miracle change for America if leaders ever agree with you. But at the same time, you'll be in the same situation that once upon a time the monarchies were, where people hated you for supporting the principles of America versus a personal narrative.
Thank you so much. So as we conclude, Muniza, I'm thinking of Memorial Day. That's 2 days away. It's a solemn federal holiday dedicated to honoring and mourning the U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the armed forces. And we have to be so grateful for their sacrifices. What are you doing with your family on Memorial Day?
Well, my husband has work. I just came from a wedding yesterday. I honestly don't know. I need to catch up on my stuff before I can do something specific for Memorial Day.
Okay.
My husband has work, so I don't know what I'm going to do for Memorial Day.
When my kids were very young, my son was a Boy Scout. Every Memorial Day, we would go to the Veterans Graveyard here, Memorial, in Sepulveda, on off of the 405, and we would plant flags and we commemorated Memorial Day and all of that. So I just wish you all the best. Thank you for your voice of reason, voice of power, voice of knowledge. And that's what we need to show coming from the Muslim world, particularly American Muslim voices. Last word to you, Muniza. What do you wish?
I honestly want American Muslims to really discover for yourself. Don't go by ideologies and saying things like, oh, it's a Zionist state without studying political facts first, because technology is becoming so powerful and I'm concerned about the American school educational system. It's falling apart because people are not believing school institutions versus what's online. And if you want your kids to survive a better life, it's better you educate them a little bit about everything, and the truth is in there. And then when kids discover for themselves, like how I did, then kids have a difficult time believing almost anything, whether it's from your parents or from school.
Thank you so much. Until next week, everyone. Conversations like this, one may be challenging, but they also present a unique opportunity for meaningful connection and understanding. And there's a time when we feel the weight of things, and there's a time to step back and enjoy. And this weekend is that weekend for us as Americans. Everyone, happy Memorial Day. Thank you, Muniza, again.
Take care. Bye-bye.